Yeah, that's not in Syria or Iraq. Those were the sights and sounds on the streets of New York City. Last Sunday was the annual Muslim Day parade, always scheduled right around 9/11. The theme of the parade, as advertised, was Islam and America's shared values. But it was nothing like that. There was support for terrorists in Egypt and Gaza, anti-Jewish propaganda. Pamela Geller is the editor of Atlas Shrugs, and she joins us now from New York. Pamela, I cannot believe that that kind of bold, audacious, pro-Islamic State, pro-terrorist propaganda was in the streets of New York. That looked like something out of Gaza or Islamic State Mosul. What the hell was going on in the streets of your city?
It really was incredible. First of all, it's always, as you point out, always takes place, the Muslim Day Parade, around 9/11. And I will say that usually they try and show some moderation, although it's always sprinkled with the black flag of jihad, or as they call it this year, the ISIS flag, or last year the Al-Qaeda flag. It's the flag of jihad. That was not present this year, but, a woman hanging off a gallows was present. Caged girls were present. There were Muslims with what looked like AK-47s, fake no doubt, but they were firing into the air and shooting at people. And it wasn't until one of my fellow bloggers, Pamela Hall, went to the police. Because, a kid can't even take a water pistol to school nowadays.
Yeah, not in Michael Bloomberg's New York. I know you have a new mayor now, de Blasio. He's even tougher on these things. Let's go through some of these. I mean, we've got 6 photos that we selected from your website, and I know one of your fellow bloggers, Urban Infidel, took some of them. Let's go through them one at a time. Let's spend about a minute on each of them because they're just so bizarre. And it's not bizarre that Islamic terrorists do outrageous and uncivilized things, but what's outrageous to me is that this happened in New York with so little reaction. It's almost like America's being conditioned to this. Let's look at the first one of a woman in a noose, a disgraceful image. What the hell does that even symbolize? We hang women, or is that what is that? And there's a guy standing next to her. It's a mannequin, of course, but the guy's, what's that all about? Yes, and he had
the guns as well. Well, it was a very pro-terror rally. It was a very pro-Muslim Brotherhood rally. The symbol of the Muslim Brotherhood, there were pictures of Morsi, and I think, and it's subtle, I grant you, she's supposed to be Egypt. Yes, and Egypt is being hung, when in fact, look, 33 million Egyptians took to the streets and, threw off the Islamic yoke of tyranny of the Muslim Brotherhood. But there was not that at this rally.
Here's a picture of a map of the region, and Israel is gone. All of Israel. And there's the black colors of the Islamic State. And there's Israel is replaced by Palestine. There's the Egyptian flag, and the black, of course, the colors of Islamic State. Where was that flag? I mean, this was just their symbols. They're not even pretending to be moderate.
It was a huge banner that was held by a number of people as they walked down Madison Avenue. That was a huge banner.
Madison Avenue. Here, let's go to the next photo. Here, we've got 6 of them. I want to jam all of them in. Put the next one up, and we'll take a look at it. Now, this is the weirdest. These aren't mannequins. These are real women in hijabs in a cage being driven through New York. This is not Tikrit. This is not Mosul. This is not Benghazi. 3 girls in a cage. I mean, is this the Boko Haram float in this terrorist parade? What the hell is that?
I don't mean to laugh. I have to tell you, the symbolism of the caged girls escapes me.
Well, it doesn't escape me. I know what they do. I've read the Quran, and I recommend everyone do. There is the law of Sharia law of taking sex slaves. When you conquer a country, you kill the men, and you take the women as your sex slaves, and that is permitted under Sharia. That's my best guess. I mean, that's what they did with Boko Haram in Nigeria. Women in a cage in New York City. Where's the feminists? New York, one of the most feminist cities in the world. I haven't heard a peep about this.
Well, I have to tell you, there was no media coverage, and if it wasn't for Urban Infidel and Pamela Hall and TRMDD, there would have been no coverage of this whatsoever. And this is what's shocking to me. The caged girls, I don't know if it's honor, the honor violence code under the Sharia. Honestly, I don't know. But again, each image becomes more astonishing than the next. This is
let's show
New
the
York
next
City.
one. I think the next one is the guns. I mean, like in downtown Manhattan, where Mayor Bloomberg has been on an anti-gun sweep and de Blasio's for full gun control. Take a look at this next picture. This is in New York. Now, those are not real machine guns, but here you have thugs dressed up in the Islamic State colors of black, hiding their eyes. And they don't have, one of them has a mask on, I think.
Yes, yes.
With guns, fake guns that police later came in and took away.
Well, let me just say something. They didn't take them away. It wasn't until one of the bloggers, Pamela Hall, went up to the police and said, "Are you really going to let them go down Madison Avenue with those guns?" And they wound up taking these big wooden sticks. But if it hadn't been for her, those guns would have been would have gone down Madison Avenue.
You know what?
No
The
doubt in my mind.
boldness here. I mean, there's that Islamic concept of taqiyya, which is lying and deception to sort of get away with things, to sneak through, to deceive the infidel. There's no taqiyya here. These folks are saying what they want. They want women in cages. They want men with guns. They want Israel obliterated. Last photo here is of a tank, a little tank. I mean, you would think that someone trying to advertise Muslim Day, commonality of value. Let's show that last tank on the screen, please. There you go. Like, I mean, not even pretending. I mean, it's a goofy paper, cardboard mache tank. But this is your Muslim Day parade. This is the face you're putting forward. We only have 30 seconds left, Pamela. What does this say about their perception of what Americans will now accept in the streets of the biggest city? It's not even about our perceptions. It's what they think of us that's so telling here. Am I right?
Absolutely. They are emboldened. They were unapologetic. They were blatant. And I believe that it's Obama's sanction of the jihad in Egypt, in Libya, in Syria, and across the world that you're seeing this is what happens. I mean, everything is fluid, nothing is static, and they know there will be absolutely no repercussions. Listen, there have been no repercussions really for the Islamic State. So it's the norming of jihad. That's how I see it, Ezra.
Pamela Geller, I'm so glad that you are one voice crying out, stop. I feel like sometimes we're in Germany in the 30s and something is coming and people would rather ignore it and hit the snooze button than to face up to reality. In fact, there are a lot of analogies with the Nazis, aren't there? Pamela Geller, thanks for joining us. More Source coming up.